Hey, welcome to my review of Arctic Eggs. Get ready to embark on a bizarre culinary adventure in the frozen wasteland of Antarctica. In this game, your goal is to impress the enigmatic Saint of Six Stomachs by cooking mostly eggs for as many people as you can. Mostly Arctic Eggs is a wacky physics game. Think something like Surgeon Simulator. But a huge piece of the game is the strange place it exists in, so I'll divide the video into those two sections. Before we start, I have to mention that Arctic Eggs is difficult to talk about without adding too many spoilers, especially since to finish it, it only takes about 2 hours. However, I'm going to try my best. Ideally, you would start playing with as little info as possible, so please keep that in mind while you're watching. Anyway, let's start with the gameplay. It's a physics cooking game, but you must slowly walk to each person and find out if they need any cooking done. The only tool you have is the frying pan. To put it simply, you must move the pan with the food in there to cook it, and then flip it to cook the other side. It's easier said than done. Unfortunately, since you only have the frying pan, you must use the edges to flip the food. That's where the physics come in, and sometimes it doesn't go your way. To increase the challenge, the game starts throwing in all kinds of food, but not just food items, into the pan, and most of it you have to cook as well. Keep in mind that if something flies out of the pan, even if it's not food, then you'll have to restart the cooking session. It's the only way to fail, and I kind of feel like overcooking the food is missing from the game. Outside the tutorial, Arctic Eggs doesn't tell you much, so it's kind of like a puzzle game where you have to figure out how to cook what you're given. The physics is fun and a bit challenging, allowing you to start over right away if you fling something out of the pan is nice as well. The person is pretty chill with watching you make mistakes over and over. I never found the game frustrating, even if something flew out of the pan and it wasn't my fault, since it's so easy to try again. I found the gameplay mostly the reason I was invested in the game, especially at the end with the more difficult dishes I had to cook. It's simple but fun, trying to flip some of the items. That said, the difficulty was pretty low, and I don't think it fully explored some of the final mechanics. The developer could have pushed it a little more. It's a nice way to say that the game was perhaps too short. Moving on to the game's location, which is another reason you may or may not want to play the game. Arctic Eggs takes place in Antarctica, which I mentioned, and at this point it's a dystopian future where some war happened and now there are people who are trying to escape. Escape where is a great question I cannot answer. The people who you meet are strange, but generously share a part of their life with you. Maybe it's sort of an exchange for the food you're about to cook for them. I'm not really a dig into a game and deliver the themes guy, as you know, but I imagine soon enough there will be a video for that. What I can tell you is that the world almost feels like a dream or maybe an afterlife. I don't think the dialogue is random, but it can kind of feel that way. It's hard to describe without mentioning the word surreal. This part of the game isn't going to be for everyone. The game kind of drags on as you walk between people, and on some level, you must be here for the weird chats because you can't tell who you're going to cook for. Some people just want to have a conversation, and that's it. So you almost have no choice but to talk with everyone. I didn't mind, and it gives some more life to the world. You gotta wonder what a post-apocalyptic Antarctica would look like. I go back and forth. I first wrote that the dreaminess wasn't my favorite part, but honestly, I'm not sure. The cooking game is kinda simple, and when I look back, I'm going to remember the world more. But in my opinion, the dreamy and low quality aesthetic is nice to look at. Yes, the people are extremely weird, but I didn't take everything literally. As I said, maybe it's some sort of dream or afterlife. I don't know, and I don't think you're supposed to know. By the end, the game gets a little too random for my tastes. I was starting to lose interest if I was going to keep up, and then almost abruptly, boop, it ends. Definitely feels like they ran out of ideas, which does make a good place to end a game. Anyway, in terms of replayability, there's not much to do once you complete the game. Either go for another run on the one harder difficulty or play in sandbox mode. I don't think either of these options give the game a real reason to play through again. Your mileage may vary if you want to get all the achievements. Overall, Arctic Eggs is a unique and whimsical cooking sim that combines quirky physics-based gameplay with a surreal and mysterious atmosphere. The game's strength lies in its simple yet engaging mechanics. The bizarre setting and cryptic dialogues add an extra layer of intrigue, making players want to uncover the secrets of the world. It's a memorable and enjoyable experience that stands out in the indie gaming scene. As always, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you want to see more indie game reviews. My recommendation, use the end screen button to learn about Cat-Powered UFO, another very strange game that I enjoyed.